on those numbers now because it's not actually that important exactly when it happened, just as long as I'm within a few seconds of the actual timing. But as it happens, it looks like we might be able to get in precisely on time because good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Sundsvall's finest section of this replay storm today. And in this bottom left-hand corner, playing for Sundsvall's finest in his Zerg pants, in the pink pieces and in the gold league, it's Cabrera. And in the top right-hand side, playing also for Sundsvall's finest because it's an internal clan thing doohickey, it's the blue Terran Sama. Terran Sama. Maybe, if you're lucky, Terran Sama might be, Terran Sama might notice me. There might be some Swedish chat in the replay. I think it translates to Cabrera will tilt soon as he realizes his overlord will die, and a countdown to his overlord dying. So, yeah. Looks like there may be some tilt in this game. But it's okay. So, again, we're seeing a fairly standard opener. We're looking at racks into gas, which suggests a Reaper play. Yeah. The drone scout comes in, the drone scout sees the Reaper play. The interesting thing is you can actually assume quite a lot of stuff about a player by whether the Reaper turns up at all. But, oh well. We're seeing Sama walling in because it turns out sensible Terran players do that. By the way, Cabrera, on the other hand, actually not going for the hatch first. Again, we're not seeing an awful lot of it. I think if... I don't know why. We're not seeing... for some reason, I was under the impression that you could go hatch first and it was fine. And that gave you an economic edge that meant you could get your gas later and still get things like link speed up. But because you had the second base up, I don't know, we'll see. In any case, the Reaper is on its way out and the pool is done, which means the Queens can be on their way, and they really, really want to be. You want to have a Queen in your main right now, Cabrera. Otherwise, life's gonna get tricky. There we go. So, the Queen has a build time of, 50 seconds. 35 seconds? What am I thinking? 50 seconds, which is slightly longer than the build time of a Reaper, and also slightly longer than the time it takes a Reaper to cross over this map. There's also a second Reaper coming down, which is fairly normal, fairly standard. What you expect to see now is the second Reaper into Reactor and then a factory put down about here so that they can swap into double Reaper. And the Lings. The Lings. Are they in the right place? Yes, they are. Not quite, though. They were so close, and the Queen will be out in time, I think, to be able to prevent any serious damage being done in this main base. The Reaper can go and poke away at the natural if it really wants to, but I can't imagine it would want to because there's very little there. It also puts itself on creep, no matter what. Queen coming out, and the rally is up in the main, because it turns out, until you get speed up, which will happen in roughly 2 minutes, I think. Yep, just under 2 minutes. It's very difficult to catch Reapers with anything that Zerg have. If you stay on creep, then they deserve to die. But if they go off creep, then yeah. Awkward times happen for everyone. Reaper going back in where there are no Lings, which is slightly unfortunate. Again, if you put the Lings right up against this corner, they can actually hunt the Reaper down before it does any serious damage. They can actually trap it if you're lucky. But that's kind of tricky. Back in the base of Terran, though, the factory is nearly done, and double marine production is there, which means that the factory can lift up, float over, and then land just basically as the racks lift off. Oh, there we go. The transition is smooth. By the way, these Lings are now positioned well to deal with Reapers. If it jumps up here, then it'll get mobbed, basically. And might get jammed into this corner and murdered brutally. But on the other hand, Cabrera is getting himself some drones and putting himself ahead in the drone count to the point where it makes a difference. He is actually, at this point, not quite... he didn't quite get the trap on the Reaper. But the Reaper can't really go into the mineral line anymore because, yeah, it turns out you can't. He does, however, see the Roach transition. And Sama will also have seen the Roach transition if he was paying attention, which I think he was because he was microing. Oh, snap. People pinging the map. And at this point you would expect Cabrera to realise that this was going to happen. But no. Yep. It got sacrificed, but it saw everything. That's basically all we ask of our overlords if we send them in like that. is as long as you see what you need to see, then it's okay if you die. We're going for 8 hours, Hidden Gambit, and we're currently on hour 4. I may have to take a stop in the middle to do some casting with somebody else on a tournament called the Morky Tournament, whatever that is. Someone could look that up. Sounds like fun. We're going to do some Diamond and Below games. I am planning on resuming replay casting after that, and I intend to cast as many as I can before I literally can't speak anymore. And we'll see how long that takes. I'm also going to need to go for frequent toilet breaks because I'm flushing myself with water so that I don't lose my voice. But Roach is now up for Cabrera, getting himself up some decent economy, but not enough, I think, to overtake the Terran, who has double mules, and therefore, effectively, if he dropped that mule, he would have effectively 8 more workers than he actually has, and 4 more workers than his opponent. Effectively. Yeah. So, the Terran player pushing across with a bunch of Reapers and a bunch of Hellions. And actually, it looks like he's going for barracks play, which is a good thing you can do this against Roaches. You can do this as long as you get a decent number of Marauders up. And also this force here basically is going to threaten and kill off the 3rd. Apparently, Cabrera is floating minerals and gas, and he is. I have no idea what that means, but it's okay. I'm sure we'll get a translation from the chat. Apparently the Hidden Gambit saying a little bit of TMI. I don't know why this wall's coming down, because it actually benefits the Zerg more to be able to come around here and trap any forces in than it does for the Terran to be able to get through. And this might be the game where we see the Overlord killed off in an ignominious fashion. I don't know, Cav. I don't know. So, Hellbats! And this might just be a I'm going to push in your front door and kill you build. Because the Evo Chambers are up, kinda. They're in the way, but they can't deal with this many Hellbats. And the Roaches will have to deal with the Hellbats, basically. But there's so many Hellbats now. It's going to be really, really tricky to deal with this. It's going to require some good micro, good positioning. If you can trap the... Oh, again, now there's no anti-air. Even if you kill off all the Hellbats, it's still not going to be the best. And the Roaches are actually going to die. Oh, you can't save the Spine Crawler. The Roaches are now the only thing defending this natural. And unfortunately, they cannot do it. Because it turns out that there's actually, you know, Terran Bio still here. And there's no anti-air at all, which is going to really make him pay for this, because he's going to need to do something to prevent his natural from falling, and I don't honestly think he can. The Roaches coming down to try and do their thing, try and do their bit. And actually a move command there by the Terran player means that this might get cleaned up, at least in terms of the ground forces, but the natural has died, and there's nothing to contest the Banshees in the air at all. And there's 2 Banshees. That's actually quite a lot of damage. We might end up seeing potential for anti-muta play. But there's still more units from the Terran players streaming down the map. We're seeing a bit of a parade push happening. Marauders there. Cabrera, however, GG's out. Or rather, doesn't GG out.